Hello, this is the International News of Lucia Arden here. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time. I want to show the Agenda 21, it's called, and a gentleman is talking about the controls. But under President Trump's team, in the entire America and our friends internationally, we are coming together so we support the people. And we're all building new businesses. So we need to look at the positive attitude of this and work together. Now, I want to show you this man. He's talking about the Agenda 21 that I talked about in my book, In God's Power, America Save Our Legacy. I'm the first presidential advisor under President Trump. I want to show you.
They say that we have less than 5 years left to stop what is coming from a complete tyranny on digital ideas, what you're allowed to purchase and what you are not. From an understanding that we will see looting in the street 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They want the crisis to rise up to the top, and they want civil war to start within this nation. Let's hear what some of our fellow
And I don't think that we should be positive and no civil war. We have to be positive about what's going on. And this shows by the actions of what we did. We cleaned up Washington, D.C., and then there is no problems there. People could go out on the street now. And of course, there's every country and city has problems, even if you do clean it up. But they're now able to have a safe place there, and we need to do that with every state, every nation. This is very important. We need to take the positive attitude about this. But I agree. I don't think we should have severe ID, digital ID. Let's go.
Less than 5 years to stop that. We'll never have another chance. Agenda 2030 isn't some conspiracy theory. It's written down, and it's written in their words. They come right out and tell us exactly what they're going to do. It's a one world government, one world, cashless currency. Now let's talk for a moment about what else they have told us that we all already see happen. They have told us that you will own nothing and be happy. Now what they meant by
I know he's saying that, but under President Trump's team, there are many jobs now. Many jobs that have come over 100,000 jobs or more have come into existence, even though we had to clean up our government. But we need to work together. If we educate the children and educate by trade and still educate the higher education, I believe that we still should give money to Harvard, but we need to share that money with trades so we can correct our nations of direct trade schools to correct in each nation, and we'll have jobs there. But I still believe in higher education. I'm in higher education. We should still support Harvard, but some of the money needs to go for the trade schools, because the higher education doesn't always apply for the workmanship and the artmanship, only the understanding of how it's worked. Do you understand? So we need to be positive about this.
So we've already seen this happen from investment firms buying up all of the houses.
And I've been saying about the investment firms buying the houses. Interest rates are down lower, and jobs are being opened up in Blackrock, State Street, and Vanguard. I know there's many discrepancies about that, but he's trying to sell back his properties. We have to be positive. It might take a while to balance out, but if we go at the rate we're going and to build up small businesses and not to put, now let's go. We need to put the American jobs, the American people jobs first. The American people jobs first, not those that are from different countries. So there needs to be new laws. There needs to be new laws. Let's go right here. I want to show you. There needs to be new laws right away of the way we treat America. We need to realize that Islamic regime was brought in each country all at once. This was a planned idea to take down our Judeo-Christian nations, not the kind, beautiful Muslims in our country. We need to come into unity with those beautiful Muslims. There are people also, just as Americans are, but American citizens need to have the jobs first. They're hiring people from India, all the pharmaceutical companies, the computer companies, and many other companies and we need to the American people first. Mrs. Farah talks about that. So this is what they're trying to do, everything at the same time that to bring down our country. And I want to show you, because I talked about this, and here it is right here. Let's show you her work, Mrs. Farah. She's beautiful. Let's go. Let's show her work. See, Lucia Arden right here got all the people together and told them that you need. My name's Lucia Arden. I've been working on this for months now, years. But now that they woke up, I got everyone going that they need to save their country. Otherwise, there'll be bloodshed the rest of your life if you don't protect your state and your country. And all these areas, they need to be corrected. Let's go right here. Let's go find Mrs. Farah right away. Here she is. I worked on this for years, but she's a specialist about India. She's a specialist. Great Mrs. Farah talks about how in unflinching editorial exposing India as China 2.0 as a direct assault on the American middle class, she walks viewers through the devastation of the offshoring to China that closed 80 to 90,000 factories and cost over $5 million jobs, and shown how India now taken up the mantle by targeting America while white-collar workers. And Farah explains the U.S. corporations and India lobby have concluded to flood the labor with foreign workers, and we need to put America first. And she has 3 solutions, which I already had the solutions. Our beautiful Mrs. Farah, you listen to this. She has 3 solutions. That there needs to be laws that they can't a 10-year plan to look over all the workers, and then all the visitors from India that are non-immigrant, and the immigrants all need, the ones that are students, the ones that are workers, the ones that are not workers, they need to have ID and assessed, and I agree. Then there needs to be new diplomacy. There needs to be new diplomacy with, let's show her beautiful picture. There needs to be new diplomacy, she says, with these businesses, which I said, Lucia Arden, I said this before. Lucia Arden, I said this before for years. In 2014, in 2011, in 2007, when I wrote about the microplastics, and I wrote about poverty in Los Angeles, how it's going to get worse if we don't put the American people first and bring jobs to our country. In 2014, that I said we need to put tariffs and support and bring small and large businesses back. And this is what she said. She has the same solutions, but she's an expert on India. And she says that she says we need to address this. And I also said that. So 3 things, she makes solutions, which I agree with the solutions that I asked. And that has to be done. But I believe that this man that talks about the Agenda 21, and here it is right here under Thank the Lord that, are you with me now? Do you understand? Thank the Lord that we had President Trump in, because they wanted to do Agenda 21. Here it is right here. Let's begin. There's a holocaust of economic abuse in the government and banks and even in businesses, taking from the basic laborers. Furthermore, the protection of the human life and dignity. This present leader has many injustices and issues, and we're talking about Biden and Kamala. I pray that he steps down. I pray for him. Human rights have been abused in many facets, such as religious, abortion, euthanasia, and many other atrocities, such as governmental, economical government failures that need to be taken care of. I asked since 2011 to correct our offices and to put America first, hire American people first, because I had an experience where for 20 years I was a philanthropist in newspapers and supported my country as a servant person without any monetary return, as a volunteer, and because that was my work. And then when I went to go apply for jobs, they put the immigrant before me. And even when I went to UC Irvine, at the time, they had people come from India and other areas that I don't know if they were citizens, but I tried to get a job there as a scientist assistant because I'm a scientist in the medical practice for 20 years, and I couldn't get it. I'm a living example of what our beautiful lady is explaining to you of what happened. Mrs. Farah, here she is right here. You better look her up about America First immigration, and it goes very deep, and President Trump is working on that. This is very serious. But I want to show you what I talked about. And this book is written about our legacy and about Agenda 21. Here it is right here. Here it is right here. Okay, number one, we have a covenant in 1774. Look at this. Continental Congress of 1774, Constitutional and Declaration of Independence. And this is my legacy of America in California. I'm from California, but we have a legacy. And I want to show you, this is my book. I want to show you here. This is my book so you see it. You see the God's power. America Save Our Legacy. This has a God's power title because it's the foundation of the human the human existence of freedom of humanity. And I wrote this book, Lucia Arden, and I wrote it in 2024, and it came in before President Trump got in, and I asked Elon Musk, and I asked it also to clean our health issues up. I've listed. You can see my table of contents of all the information here that shows in Carl's Jasper discussion that talks about President Trump, Elon Musk, RFK, all the leaders are like Peterson, Dr. Peterson. They're all the representatives, all the people. Bondi, Patel, Howard Hogan, all the people. Kristi Noem, all of them are examples of Carl Jasper, Lucia Arden, of protecting the freedom and safety of our country. And all America is like a girl, Carl Jaspers. He's a professor that went back to Germany when Hitler died because he had to flee with his Jewish wife. And he came back and brought Germany, a great nation. They opened their borders, just like that man said, and we all did, to help the homeless Muslim, and now they go against us. We need new laws for the Islamic regime, not the beautiful Muslim people that want to live in honesty and freedom, but the Islamic regime, there's a difference. But because the Islamic regime, they're like a CCP and worse. Now they ruined it for their own brothers and sisters, the Muslim, because there needs to be new laws. So this is all work that I've showed you, that I've done here, and I want to show you. Here it is right here, the Agenda 21. Democratic Party elite communists, Obama, Biden, and Kamala, America, they wanted to destroy, controlled by higher elite world powers and secrecy the highest evil tables. Also that the United Nations wants Agenda 21 on Obama, Bush, and Clinton, where they take away the ownership and control by the World Health Controls, World Economic Forum under Biden and Kamala, and the CCP virus, CC vaccination to kill everyone down. This has to stop. We need to restore, and I believe that we can. Just like that man said, we have 5 years. So if there's different types of IDs. Digital ID, people should have license. They should have some type of a card of some type of ID. But I don't believe in control of the person and using drones to light up and use radiation to find their people and control them through radiation and EMFs and chemical spray. Just here in our beautiful Cyprus, they sprayed in the skies. This has to be stopped right away. We all need to pray that they stop spraying because they're killing. They're using to kill us. There's a emergency America, save our legacy. And President Trump is. We need to control the communistic arms. Agenda 21, eliminating the middle class. And that's what she's talking about. A beautiful lady, Mrs. Elizabeth Farah. she talked about, and that's why I've been talking about that for years. I have podcasts about what happened in the 70s. They gave a low hourly wage and gave more money to the big people, and they wasn't enough money to live off of it, and so the middle class went down lower and lower and lower. And they control the monies, so we didn't have enough money to buy houses and to save, because it cost more money to live than the money they were making. And then all their savings was used. The United Nations organization will implement the Sustainable Development Engine to Agenda 21 comprehensive plan globally, nationally, locally. This is the Agenda 21 century living for a brave world that you cherish and love with no longer exist, and we need to protect it. And that's what we're doing under President Trump. He's doing all he can, and it shows. It shows. We know, we realize about the dollar. The dollar has, and I told you that's why I wanted Bitcoin, because Lucia Arden asked about Bitcoin years ago, because I studied under Tika. He was one of the first crypto specialists, and also under Jim Rickards and Altura on Paradigm Press, and also Stansberry. Those are economists that I've studied. Many I've studied. This has to, and on my own, independent, and also about property, about that Grant Cardone. But my beautiful friends, they don't realize that I've been under the very much violence of corporate censorship, and I now it's opening up because everyone's hearing. And all these lists of things are working on that President Trump, since before 2016, I asked to come in. It elevates nature above man, and it is called precautionary principle. You are guilty before you're proven innocent, and that's what's bad. We cannot have that. But we need to clean our streets. We need to clean our states, but we need to go with a tender, loving heart with our local police, because even though Chicago says crime is down, no, there's hidden crime from geopolitical powers that are hidden over the period of years. All laws do not cover 20 years of changes over geopolitical powers. It shows. And I'll put this in, is my police Chauvin did not kill Floyd. Floyd had heart fibrillation. He was under fentanyl. He had COVID. He had CO2 poisoning. He had marijuana mucus in his systems, and marijuana heart trouble because he smokes marijuana all the time. Plus he had amphetamines in his system, drugs, plus pharmaceuticals. Plus he had sickle cell anemia, and he has heart fibrillation. We need to revisit that. These are all new laws that need to be taken care of. Philosophy to bring humans throughout the world under the control of the elite, and that's what we don't want. And President Trump is showing he's bringing the small and large businesses back, but we need to be careful. These big companies, they cannot hire people, offshore people, for their jobs. And these companies also that are companies that come in from different countries, then they just hire Indian. That's another thing that we have to be careful. They can't just hire those are not citizens. And our Mrs. Beautiful, Mrs. Lovely Forrest tells us that American graduates are more prepared than Indian and China graduates. Did you know that? She talks about statistics because I'm a generalist. She's a specialist. This beautiful lady, you listen to her. She's a specialist on the statistics, on every single thing about American immigrants. But your sister, Lucia Arden, here she's an expert, but I'm a specialist about this problem that I delegate teams just like I delegated everyone to do the work on each office and what to do because I'm a generalist. Look at my book. I'm also a supply chain economist, also on health issues, also on cultural issues, education, immigration, economy, international relations, because I am a politician. I'm a political analyst. Now this is very, very serious. We need to take care of this. And our beautiful lady here, she needs to get some points for what she did and treat her with respect. She loves her America. What else do they want to do? Global movement of coordinated action plan. We have to be careful. But this is obsolete, some of this, because you see how EU and America, they're supporting each other now in a lot of sense. They realize they have to protect their borders. And they're big because their bigger enemy is the Islamic regime. And the open borders of disunity and violence that the geopolitical powers of the 9 cartel company billionaires. There's 9 billionaire companies that are cartels around the world, but only a few are very, very violent. Others just stay in their country. Are you with me? And our beautiful lady doesn't talk about the cartels, but they have a big significance. Just like President Trump tells about Colombia. They live off their drug, making drugs. Lucia Arden, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate your time, and I want to show you this. This book is history written. Our Need to Get to the World. This is the first edition. It's very small. You can see this. This was the first edition. God bless you. Thank you so much. This is Lucia Arden. Look me up.